Okay, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be another ICT strategy video. I'm going to be going more in depth in the Judas Swing compared to what I did in the quick course. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to replicate this setup and take trades the same way that ICT would using this Judas Swing strategy that I'm going to teach you. So just a few things to note before we get into this textbook setup that I've drawn up. Up here, you can see the Judas Swing time that you're looking at is from midnight to 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you do live in America, then this might be quite hard to trade. You might not want to stay up all night to trade the strategy, but it can still be very useful to use. Maybe if you're in the rest of the world, obviously you can just trade it. But even if you're in America and you can't exactly trade the setup as it occurs, you can still use it once you come to your session to see if it's happened. And if it has, it can give you a bias for the day, because if the London session is bullish, then you could look for maybe a pullback and retracement in New York, depending on your added confluences. But it's still definitely something that I would suggest you learn, because it's good to add to your knowledge. And although I haven't tested it, you could potentially use something similar, but just on the London session. So instead of using the Asian session here, you could imagine this is the London session, and you could find some times for New York. I'll have a look into it and make a video potentially if I find anything useful and profitable. But let's get into this setup then. So what we're looking at. So first of all, 7 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time is the Asian session range. So this is what we're marking up. And ideally, we are looking for a tight range. We're not looking for a trending market in the Asian session. Obviously, some pairs will have that. Maybe if it's like Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, both of those pairs are going to be traded during the Asian session, so there could be some big movements there. But if you're on Euro USD, GBP USD, something like that, then you're looking for a close range that's not spanning like 40, 50 pips. ICT says something in the region of 20 is where you're looking to have an ideal Asian range. So just to go back to these notes, actually, the last one, you are going to be looking for a higher time frame bias to determine what direction the Judas Swing will be in. So this setup is obviously a bullish example, and so we're assuming that in this case your higher time frame bias is bullish. And if you don't know how to get a bias, then I do have a video on it, so it's very recent, just check it out, and then come back to this, or watch this, and then go to that after. It's up to you. But the first thing that you're looking for in your setup, in this case because we're bullish, is looking for price to go above the Asian range, and just what it's doing is it's trapping breakout traders. So anyone that's got buy stops up here, hoping that when price breaks above the range, it's going to continue higher, they're going to get trapped because they're now in buy trades and the price is going to shoot down. And so this is the first sign that you're looking for to show that Judas Swing might be coming. But then obviously the main point of this setup is this Judas Swing, and it is an energetic move that often sets the London session high or low. And that is exactly what we're looking for. I'll try to make it clear here. We're looking for an energetic move, lots of displacement, lots of imbalance, FVG, whatever you want to call it. Price pushing down in this case, strong bearish candles, another bearish candle going below the Asian session low. Or in some cases, ICT does say that you're looking for the New York opening price, which is at midnight. So you mark up a line here and you're looking for buys below that. In this case, it doesn't always have to go below the Asian session low, but it does give for higher probability setups, and you're looking for a nice push down below it. That's something else ICT mentions. He says you're looking for 20 to 30 pips push below the Asian range. Obviously, if you just get a tiny break below and close above, then that is also alright. But if you're looking for the best setups that ICT uses, you're looking for quite a decent push below, maybe to a PD array in the past, and then reaction from that. Because that is one way I use it, looking at order blocks in the past, and a Judas Swing into that order block and then pushing up. And as for your entry, you could either enter from the past order block, or you can look for some kind of reaction here, low time frame liquidity grab, or just a market structure shift and enter from imbalance, or rejection block, breaker block, whatever you want to use. And then you can look to take price to opposing liquidity. This high here is going to be a good place to target. And if there's anything else that you want to target, you can. But yeah, this is a good place that I like to target. It's very consistent, as long as you were right in the setup. So obviously a bearish setup would be opposite. You've got your bearish bias and you got a break below the low, Judas Swing up, taking out the highs, and then looking for your reversal there to take price lower. And as for looking for entries in New York, as I've mentioned before, London session, pushes up. In this case, you could get a reversal in New York, or you could get a pullback and a continuation, or you could just get some crazy market price action, that whatever it wants to do. Those are some things to look out for. That's it for the textbook setup, so now I'll get into the charts. Okay, so I'm on Euro USD on the 5 minute, and that's just something that I want to talk about, something that I've noticed when I've traded this, and especially very recently, the examples I'm going to show you. Sometimes price doesn't always take out one side of the range before the Judas Swing. In this case here, first of all, it's not a good setup because price has been pushing up in the Asian range, and so it is a more risky setup. But what you see is that between midnight and 5, price pushes down a bit. It would trap any sellers, there's a big bearish candle, any sellers that get in here, when price pushes up, they're going to get stopped out. But this is still a good example of the Judas Swing. You get price within the time zone, push up, take out the Asian session high, and then form the high of the London session. So if you'd caught an entry here, from this imbalance, somewhere that you could have marked up, you could have got a pullback to this zone very quickly, entry just on the imbalance, stop loss above the Judas Swing. Your first target could just be this point here. Your second target could be the Asian low. I mean, in this case, probably not because of how strong it was pushing up. But you could have targeted the source of the imbalance. So maybe this would have got hit anyway. It didn't, almost got hit. But in something like this, where you got a strong push up, you can always look for the start of the imbalance target, because that's likely where price might react from. And in this case, it did. But this is just in hindsight, so obviously who knows what I would have done in the real charts. But then if we go back, there was another trade that I saw that was similar to this, and it was over here. So what you can see is at the start of this Judas Swing timings, price pushes up, looks bullish, people might get into a lot of buy trades here, and so you can assume that the Judas Swing is going to be in the other direction and then push up, especially if you have a bullish bias, which is something that I'm not talking about here, but always make sure you have your bias. What you can see is this clear, energetic move down, taking out the Asian lows before the push up. And although there wasn't really any entries on this trade unless you were going aggressive or from a low time frame, it's just something I wanted to highlight to you to show you these kind of candles are the ones you're looking for to show Judas Swing, big bearish candles, leaving behind a lot of imbalance. Okay, sorry to interrupt, but I'll try and make it quick and useful. I've started a premium Discord group if you do want to accelerate your trading journey, and I've got a few different options that, depending on where you are in that journey, you can take. So firstly, I've got a monthly mentorship where I do weekly calls, give you my trading setups, as well as support from me, and a strong community of determined traders for just $5 a month. I've also got a complete SMC course with everything that you need to know in one place, as well as the strategies that I trade on a funded accounts with proven results. And it also comes with a free 30-minute meeting to accelerate your trading journey and fix any issues you have. And then finally, if you want a more personal approach, then I have a few spots for one-to-one mentorship with monthly or more regular calls and unlimited, pretty much 24/7 access to me. Any questions you have, just send them my way, as well as a tailored learning path that I will create for you to get you profitable. So thank you for listening to that. Definitely check out if you're interested in any of those options, and let's get back to the video. Okay, so this is another trade I wanted to show you. It looks like a very perfect textbook, in fact, Judas Swing setup. You got your Asian range, clear range, not really any trend. Yes, you get push up there, but then it pushes back down and it's a clear range. What you get then is a clear sweep above the high, trapping breakout traders there for this clear Judas Swing. Lots of bearish candles, especially here. Bearish, energetic move down, below the Asian session low, and then a push up, and you can look to get an entry here. Maybe if you want a low time frame, you could have got a scalp entry here and taken price up, but the overall trend was going down. And this you would have found out from your high time frame bias. If we look up here, you can see, even though I'm not on the higher time frame, this is a higher time frame order block, and you could have seen that formed on a higher time frame. You would have seen price take out liquidity, push down, and there would have been some huge imbalance. And you can see the price is just bearish on this time frame, and just take my word for it, my bias was bearish in this case. So that's why this setup probably didn't work, and that's the importance of having a high time frame bias. Even though in isolation this looked like a perfect bullish Judas Swing, because the higher time frame was bearish, it wasn't a high probability setup. A good setup then as well, another textbook setup, but in the right direction in this time. As you can see, price was trending down, and again, take my word for it, on the higher time frame, the bias was bearish in my opinion. And so then on this day, we're anticipating a price to push up as the Judas Swing before taking price lower. And so the first thing we're looking for is price to take out the Asian session lows to trap any breakout traders going short. And it does do that. It does also offer a counter trend trade. You could have taken an entry from the imbalance or the order block and then taken price up to the Asian session high, but that's a whole different strategy, so don't worry about that for now. But you get the break below the low, and then you get this clear Judas Swing, huge bullish candles, a lot of imbalance, a lot of energetic price action, pushing price up above the Asian session high. And so then in this case, how could you have got an entry? Well, if you were going for the extreme, then you would have missed your entry. If you were looking at this order block, it didn't get tapped into, the supply zone. And similarly, if you're looking for any imbalance, above here, didn't get tapped into. And so to get direct entry in this case, you would have had to have entered from this least extreme imbalance, which isn't recommended in my opinion. And so this first entry may have been missed. But you can always look for confirmation once this zone gets respected. And you can see liquidity over here was swept and then pushed down, leaving behind this order block, which you could have got a confirmation entry from, giving you high probability and high risk reward setups. Simply entry on there, stop loss above there, and you can target either this low here for a nice 1 to 2.6, or as I mentioned, this place is likely to get hit, and this is a nice 1 to 8 trade. It's got a high risk reward, but with that comes some risk. Obviously, price could have pushed up, taken out our stop loss, tapped into one of these zones, and then continued down, and we would have lost the trade. So that's kind of what you have to weigh up when trading the higher risk reward trades. But anyway, hopefully that has been helpful for you to give you an insight into the Judas Swing. If you want more information, then either check out ICT's channel and his videos on Judas Swing, or send me a message on Discord, or leave a comment down below and I will try and help you out. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.